Grand Theft Auto 3. No, you're not on a foreign channel. Hold on, let me start over. Grand Theft Auto 3. Oh, what a joke I made, man. Probably no one even cracked a smile. Anyway, before things get any weirder, let me start the video. What would have happened if Grand Theft Auto 3 never existed? In this video, I'll talk about what would have happened if Grand Theft Auto 3, which is actually the middle game of the Grand Theft Auto series, hadn't been successful. So, if this game didn't exist, would you have been able to meet all those legendary characters you know? Did you even know that, in my opinion, a huge series like Grand Theft Auto actually owes a lot to this third game, Grand Theft Auto 3? This will be a video that answers all these questions. Oh, by the way, I'll also share a couple of wild theories about Grand Theft Auto 3 in the video, just letting you know in advance. So, your perspective on this game might completely change after this video. If you like videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel. Anyway, I'll stop rambling and get straight to the point. Let's go back to the time when Grand Theft Auto 3 was initially released. So, when Grand Theft Auto 3 was released, it was like opening a new chapter both for Rockstar and for the gaming world. After its release on October 22nd, 2001, we can say that a new era began for Rockstar Games. After the little attention their first and second games received, thanks to Grand Theft Auto, 3 Rockstar Games would now become a giant in the gaming industry, and everyone would know this company's games. In addition, it would become one of the series that pioneered the open world style in the gaming world. So, what if something had gone wrong when Grand Theft Auto 3, which is so important, was first released? I mean, what if its competitors had been much stronger, or if it had faced another problem and received no attention at all? What if Grand Theft Auto 3 hadn't succeeded? Let's begin if you're ready. In order to understand the problems that would have been caused if Grand Theft Auto 3 hadn't been released, we first need to get to know the game, right? Our main character, Claude, and his girlfriend Catalina rob a bank together. After the robbery, while they're escaping, Catalina doesn't want to split the money and betrays Claude by shooting him in front of the bank. This betrayal causes Claude to get caught by the police. Claude and 2 other people are riding in a police car when their way is blocked, and one of them is forcibly taken away. Claude and the man next to him, named 8-Ball, take advantage of the opportunity and manage to escape. Claude starts getting into the business with the man next to him, named 8-Ball, and this is actually where the real adventure begins. During this adventure, he makes a name for himself throughout the city by working with the mafia to take revenge on Catalina, who betrayed him. So basically, that's how the story begins. As for our main character, his name is Claude. That's it, no joke. He lacks special traits. I have a theory about this, by the way. I'll discuss him later. He's a character who finishes the game's tasks without speaking. So, being this silent also causes the game to fail to effectively convey the feeling of revenge. But Grand Theft Auto 3 makes up for these shortcomings with its other aspects. By the way, Grand Theft Auto 3 is a game developed by Direct Memory Access Design, which you know is Rockstar North. When the game was first released, it actually started a new era by transitioning from 2D to 3D, didn't it? It was a game that offered a very free experience where you could either drive cars in an open world or cause chaos in the cities. So when you look at that period, the games of that time usually focused on a single category. In action games, you would only play with guns. There was no driving around in cars or anything like that. Or, on the contrary, if it was a car game, you couldn't cause chaos in the city with guns. Grand Theft Auto 3, on the other hand, became a legend at that time by offering this to players. The game's popularity greatly benefited Rockstar. So, honestly, releasing this genre at that time was a big deal, and Rockstar really took advantage of it. Of course, after this game became a hit, Rockstar Games became a well-known and established company. With this momentum, as Grand Theft Auto Vice City and San Andreas came out, the foundations of the Grand Theft Auto series were laid. So I'll ask again, what would have happened if Grand Theft Auto 3 hadn't been a success? Simply put, if Grand Theft Auto 3 hadn't been a success, the Grand Theft Auto series would never have existed. Grand Theft Auto Vice City and San Andreas technically have the same engine as Grand Theft Auto 3. That's why I think if Grand Theft Auto 3 hadn't been successful, they wouldn't have made a new game with the same engine. If Grand Theft Auto 3 hadn't been successful, Rockstar Games, whose hopes for the Grand Theft Auto series would have been shattered, wouldn't have taken another step for this series and would have cancelled the birth of a legend. Rockstar Games, whose hopes for the Grand Theft Auto series were completely shattered, wouldn't have taken another step for this series and would have cancelled the birth of a legend. If Grand Theft Auto 3 hadn't been successful, maybe the open world concept we see in games wouldn't have become this popular. So, even if it did become popular, I think it wouldn't have happened this quickly. The Grand Theft Auto series is without a doubt one of the biggest pioneers of open world games. So, I assume you would all agree with this. Which series could I say was its biggest rival at that time? It was Driver. So, the Driver series was also quite popular, and the gaming world was really gonna take a different path after these two games. Because at that time, many of the features I just mentioned were also present in the Driver series. However, to be honest, in my opinion, the Driver series brought about its own end by making the mistake of trying to compete with the Grand Theft Auto series. If you want a video about the Driver series, which I really want to talk about, I can also make a video on this topic. Writing it is sufficient. Before I share my theory, I have a question for you. If Grand Theft Auto 3 really hadn't been successful, what kind of changes would there have been in the gaming world? Be sure to write your thoughts in the comments. Because I especially want to hear your opinions. I make these videos so we can discuss them together in the comments section. It's incredibly enjoyable, so be sure to write your opinions in the comments. Now, we've come to our wildest theory. Cloud doesn't speak at all throughout the whole game, right? So imagine this guy as a main character who doesn't speak in a series like Grand Theft Auto. Yes, this actually happened in Grand Theft Auto 3, and I have a wild theory about it. In many games like Half-Life, the main character, Gordon Freeman, doesn't speak. But it's incredibly weird that Claude doesn't speak in a game like Grand Theft Auto. I mean, that silence really suited Gordon Freeman. Now let me tell you my theory. Look, don't laugh. What if Claude is actually dead? Wait, don't judge me yet. Let me explain. Now, in this guy's past, so, after being betrayed by Catalina in Liberty City, his return is told, right? What if Claude actually died during that prison escape, and this whole game we're playing is actually a story from the afterlife? The theory may seem increasingly ridiculous, but let me explain. This guy never talks. Actually, he might not even be a physical being. He could be just a spirit of vengeance. Even the NPCs seem to interact with him by force. But what if this is just an illusion? Now, isn't the atmosphere of Liberty City pretty dark too? I mean, how should I put it? It's like a depiction of hell or limbo. I've watched a lot of movies like this before. We think the main character is alive until the very end, but it turns out he was dead from the very beginning. And actually, we've been watching what his soul experienced after death. Look, there are movies like this, with these kinds of great scripts. So could something like this be possible in Grand Theft Auto 3 as well? Well, when I come up with these theories, I try to rely a bit on my imagination. I don't want to discuss common knowledge, folks. Some people say, come on, is that even possible? That's nonsense, and so on. I mean, in the other theory videos, I really tried to come up with things using my imagination a bit more. Otherwise, I could also make really solid, well-grounded theory videos, but we could do those under a different series name. That could work too. Anyway, in this video, I actually didn't want to talk about a theory, but rather emphasize how important Grand Theft Auto 3 is as a game. However, as I said, if you really want a solid, grounded, and well-founded theory video about this game, I can make a video like that too. Let me know if you enjoy these videos. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you do. Maybe in the future, I can also make a game documentary. We're going to produce a lot of content on this channel for Outlast and other well-known games. Expect a lot of content coming your way, guys. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.